Hello, I'm Morgan Wallen. Yeah, that's me, the guy who sat at the very top of the Billboard charts in 2025 with my album I'm the Problem. It spent 12 weeks at #1 on the Billboard 200, became the biggest debut of the year with 493,000 units in the first week, and I was named Billboard's Top Artist of 2025, the first country artist in 32 years to take that crown. Stadiums are selling out, streams are in the billions, and the Still the Problem tour is already shaking the world in 2026. But let me tell you something real, none of this was handed to me. This road was long, messy, full of mistakes, and built one heartbreak at a time. I was born on May 13, 1993, in Sneedville, Tennessee, a tiny mountain town of just 2,000 people. My dad, Tommy, was a pastor. My mom, Leslie, was a teacher. Music wasn't just background noise in our house, it was the soundtrack of our lives. We sang hymns in church every Sunday, and at night my dad would pull out his old guitar. When I was 8 years old, I picked up that same guitar and something clicked inside me. From that moment, I knew I wanted to make music. I played baseball and football in high school, but my real passion was always in my bedroom, listening to Hank Williams, Waylon Jennings, and George Strait on repeat. In 2014, at just 20 years old, I took a huge swing. I auditioned for season 6 of The Voice. I had zero industry experience, but I had heart. I made it onto Usher's team, performed a couple of rounds, and got eliminated early. Walking off that stage felt like the end of the world. I flew back to Tennessee thinking, this dream is over. But something in me refused to quit. I moved to Nashville, slept on friends' couches, played tiny bars for $100 a night, and sent demo after demo to every label that would listen. In 2016, Big Loud Records finally took a chance on me. My first EPs dropped, but for a long time I was just another guy trying to break through. Then 2018 happened. My debut album If I Know Me came out and Whiskey Glasses exploded on radio. Suddenly people were singing along. But the real explosion came in 2021 with Dangerous, the double album. It spent 10 weeks at #1 on the Billboard 200, crossed 4 billion streams, and gave me my first massive hits like Wasted on You, Sand in My Boots, and 7 Summers. Life was changing fast, arenas were filling up, money was coming in. But that same year, everything nearly collapsed. In February 2021, a video leaked of me drunk at a party using a racial slur. The internet exploded. Radio stations banned my music, sponsors dropped me, and for weeks I thought my career was dead. I locked myself in my house, stared at the ceiling, and had the darkest conversations with myself. I apologized publicly, went to therapy, and tried to understand how a small-town kid could mess up so badly on such a big stage. The only thing that kept me standing was my fans, Wallen Nation. You guys showed up in droves. You said, we know the real you. That love pulled me through. By 2023 I was back stronger than ever with one thing at a time. 36 songs, over 100 weeks on the charts, and, last night, shattered records on the Hot 100. My One Night at a Time stadium tour became the highest grossing country tour in history, playing to over 3 million fans across multiple countries. But my personal life was still a roller coaster. In 2020, right in the middle of everything, my son Indigo Wilder was born on July 10th. His mom is my ex, Katie Smith. Co-parenting while the world watched my every move taught me more about being a man than any award ever could. Looking into Indy's eyes reminded me why I fight so hard, not just for the music, but to be the father he deserves. 2024 tested me again. In Miami, I got into trouble throwing a chair off a hotel balcony and faced legal charges. Once more the headlines screamed my name for the wrong reasons. But by then I had learned something powerful. I'm not perfect, and I never claimed to be. I own my mistakes. I keep showing up, keep writing, keep singing the truth. And then came May 16, 2025, the release of I'm the Problem. 37 tracks recorded on my farm in Nashville, featuring guests like Tate McRae, Eric Church, and Hardy. It wasn't just an album, it was a statement. First week, 493,000 units. It dominated the Billboard 200 for 12 weeks, the most of any album that year. I was crowned Billboard Top Artist of 2025. The I'm the Problem tour that summer filled 19 stadiums across North America with massive production, pyro, and crowds that sang every word. People called it the biggest country to mainstream crossover in years. I just called it finally being unapologetically me. Some mornings I still wake up and see that same Sneedville kid in the mirror, the one who played guitar in a tiny bedroom dreaming of stages he couldn't even imagine. I still pick up my guitar and sing "Sand in My Boots" when I need to remember where I came from. I still make mistakes, but I've learned the most important lesson of all: people don't love perfection. They love honesty. They love the struggle. They love the comeback. Wallen Nation, without you none of this exists. You stood by me when the world turned away. You filled those stadiums. You streamed the music. You raised my son's name in the comments like family. Thank you. This story isn't finished. In 2026 the Still the Problem tour kicks off with 23 massive dates, and I'm bringing even bigger energy, even more truth, and the same small town heart. If you're watching this and you've stumbled halfway down your own road, if the world told you you're the problem, if you've made mistakes, if you've been counted out, hear me, you get back up. You own it. You come back stronger. That's exactly what I did. I'm Morgan Wallen, and this is my story.
Still hear that old ghost call, but now I fall down on purpose to the one who breaks my fall. Small town boy with a busted halo, hands up in that Friday night glow, singing I ain't who I was, but I'm still being made whole. I'm just gravel and grace, dust on the Chevrolet.